Hello everyone, welcome back to another Adobe Photoshop tutorial. This one, I'm going to show you how to work with shadows, and not only that, I'm going to show you how to get your shadows to be exactly the way you want them, right down to the finest pixel here. Take a look at this. Here is the original shot. It's quite nice. You'll see some shadows here on the left side of her face, or if you're looking at it straight on the right side. But look at this. By just adding in some gradients, I've gone ahead and you'll see some little bit of a highlight here on her left side, and we've got the shadows perfect on her right side. Not only that, I'm going to show you how to dial it in so you can bring the shadows exactly the way you want them. I'm going to show you step by step. Let's start from scratch. All right, so the first step here, we've loaded up an image here. This is just a default stock image I got off Pexels.com. It's free to use. The next step is I'm going to go over to the left side here. I'm going to go to my quick selection tool. Then I'm going to go to the top and you'll see select subject. Click on that down arrow and then you get two choices, device or cloud. I'm going to make sure the check mark is beside cloud. Now I'm going to click on select subject. When I do that, you'll see here in a second that we'll get those marching ants going right around our selection. It takes a few seconds sometimes because this uses the Adobe Cloud servers to do this. And if we zoom in, it's done a pretty good job. It doesn't have all of the hair, but it's got most of it, and for this demonstration, this should do just fine. The next step, and this is a crucial one, you want to hold down the Command key on a Mac or the Control key on a PC, and then press the letter J. When you do that, you create something via a layer copy. So we created a new layer via layer copy, and you'll see it over here. So if I turn it off, nothing's happened. It's still there, but it's a second layer, but it's only of the lady here. And if I turn the bottom layer off, you'll see that there. So now we're going to start working with gradients. I'll show you how to do that next. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and start doing the gradients. Now, before we go, I'm going to go to the left side here on the toolbar, and you'll see gradient. When I select that, you'll see up at the top here that I've got the gradient tool selected by the check mark beside gradient. And this is very important. I'm going to click on this down arrow and you get a few different color type gradients. Now, if you're looking for colored shadows, you can go ahead and change the colors. But for this one, I'm going to go from black to transparent. So when I hover over it, you'll see here it says black to transparent, where this one will say foreground to background. This one is black to transparent. This is what you want. If you don't see it, you may have to switch these colors over here by hitting this double arrow. And then again, going up here, black to transparent. I'm going to click on that, and now watch this. Again, making sure you're selected on the top layer. I'm just going to start testing it out. I'm just going to select my little cursor over here, and then I'm just going to drag it to the left. And when I do that, you'll see here that we're creating shadows. However, we're creating shadows across the whole image. So it's applying to all layers, including the bottom layers. If I right click on this and I go create clipping mask, you'll now see that this shadow is only applied to the top copy, which is a copy of the lady that we created earlier. Now, this looks pretty good, but we can do a little bit better. All right, here we go. So we've gone ahead and we've clipped it to the bottom layer. Now look at this. It's right now, you'll see here, it's got the blending mode of normal selected. Watch this. What happens if we switch that down to something like overlay? Now look at it. Here we go. This is before. And this is after. We've added in some great shadows, and we can actually go a little further. So if we want to bring the shadows maybe a little more to the right or to the left, we can just pull on this white here, and you'll see here that we're dialing in the exact amount of shadows and in the exact places that we want. Now I'm going to leave it right about here because I think that looks quite good. But I want to go a little further and show you another technique. Watch this. What we're going to do now is we're going to click out. I'm just going to go ahead and grab my move tool, click out. I'm going to create another gradient layer. This one, I'll grab the gradient tool again. It's going to be black to transparent. And I'm going to drag out and do it again. And I'm going to pull it over this way, maybe down a little bit from the top right to the top left. Just get a little bit like the sun is up here or the light source is up at the top rightish. Maybe I might even pull it up a bit more. Something like that. Again, you guys can see here, I can just sort of move the gradient as I see fit, as well as move how much concentration I want from the dark to the white. For example, if I want more white or if I want more dark. But let's just go ahead with something like that. But watch this. Now, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to right click on that layer. I'm going to create a clipping mask. So basically, we're clipping to the same layer, but we've got two clipping masks stacked on top of each other. Now I'm going to change the gradient mode from overlay, which is what we used in the last one. This one, I might want to use something like this. My favorite is color dodge because this adds some highlights to the side of the face and it adds some nice dark shadows to the other side. So let's take a look at what we got. Here's the original shot right here. Then we created a copy of the lady and we made a layer via copy. We added in a gradient overlay with the overlay blending mode. And then we added in a second gradient, this one here, using color dodge. And we've got a fantastic set of shadows and a nice highlight on the left side. And if you want it to be a little bit less shadowed, for example, you can pull it over here. If you want it to be a little more, you can pull it to the left. Again, you can dial this in. And this is the technique I find that creates the best shadows and highlights in Photoshop. Thanks for watching.